So in putting this together, we realized that really don't have enough time to get through all the stuff that happened this year. So at the beginning of the year, we set out a pretty broad goals of more time on community initiatives, more conferences, more launches, more ideas, more collaborators, more collaborations, shipping more stuff and more stuff. And so we spent a lot of time focused on shipping new products, and it's kind of amazing all the stuff that we got done. So we kind of shipped all the things this year. We did a bunch of new updates to our ThreadDB protocol and database, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some newer stuff towards the end here. We implemented a bunch of new access control mechanisms for developers who are looking to leverage Web3 technologies with Web2 access control constraints. We launched a new mailbox API that is really making it a lot easier for people to do things like share invites between threads, but also share invites between different Web3 protocols in order to sort of tie a lot of different tooling and tools together. We launched our buckets APIs. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. We launched a bunch of stuff around Filecoin. We launched some new community initiatives and all the things. So speaking of launching products, we put a bunch of effort into our Textile Buckets API. So for anyone who's not already familiar with things that Textile does, we build a lot of developer tooling on top of the IPFS ecosystem in general, specifically, and the Web3 community and tooling more broadly. So Textile Buckets is a file and dynamic directory storage that's built on top of ThreadDB, which is our dynamic thread event sourcing layer. It ties together a bunch of Textile tooling, like our Powergate API, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and then standard IPFS things like UnixFS and DagDB and all, or DAG structures, so that you can share data on IPFS in a really clean way. It publishes all this over everything you can think of, including HTTP, IPFS, libp2p, IPNS, and all the things. And it's really easy. So that's the name of the game here when we're talking about stuff. Of course, 2020 was the year of Filecoin for us and a lot of other teams. And so we shipped a very exciting new product we call Powergate, which is a multi-tiered storage API. And it's built to leverage any of that gap between IPFS and Filecoin. It lets you, build indexes for Filecoin data. It lets you push data to and from Filecoin for retrieval and for storage. It's designed to be used by other teams. It's designed to be used by pinning services, which is going to be a big thing in 2021, I think. And it's really designed for teams building services on top of Filecoin. The coolest thing, of course, is it's pretty easy to use. So if you even are just sort of Filecoin curious, I recommend you take a look at Powergate and start playing around there a little bit. All of our tools now and continue to be supported by across a number of different languages. So if you're building a Golang app, you're building something in JavaScript, you're building with Python, we have community contributors who built API wrappers and connectors in all of these different languages, and everything's available over gRPC. So even if you've got a language there you're not that's not covered already, you can jump in and start building stuff pretty quick. We've done a lot of focus this year on community outreach. In fact, we set a goal for ourselves to actually contribute directly to external projects as much as possible. One of those has been a handoff of something we called JS IPFS Lite to the IPFS core team. I actually talked about IPFS Lite in a prior meetup. So that's now become JS DAG service, and that's something we've given back to the IPFS community. I'm going to start to try and promote that a little bit more in the new year and hope that we can get some contributors over there as well. And then, of course, we have a lot of, speaking of community, we have a lot of interactions with other teams, including folks from Fleek, from Memex, from Slate, from the Filecoin core team and Protocol Labs and Ceramic and a whole bunch of other teams that we're really excited to continue to interact with and to do a bunch of integration. So expect a bunch of really tight integrations between groups like Fleek and Ceramic and Slate in the coming months and quarters. And please do check out those projects, because without those teams, they help us to drive API development, they help us to drive features, and they help us to pick what we ship. In order to ship all this stuff, We've also had to do some hiring. So we're very excited that we've got 2 new members that have joined our team pretty recently towards the end of 2020. And so Textile team, in addition to growing our product space and our tooling and all of our community outreach, we're also expanding our team locally. And so please, give them a warm welcome to the new team members, and hopefully you'll be interacting with them a bit more in the new year. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to take up more than my fair share of time. Thank you very much. Please ping me afterwards if you want to know any specifics about the stuff that we did. It was really tough to pick what I was going to put in this set of slides and what to leave out, but I think that'll give you a quick overview. And for anyone who's not familiar with Textile already, what's going on? Aren't you paying attention? And if you're interested, just check it out, textile.io.